The Neo Reality Entertainment brand expands with a relaunch of the Neo Reality Collective Pop Culture News Talk. Your host, Eric Brown, gives his insights and thoughts in the ever-expanding news world of comic books, professional wrestling, gaming, TV, and movies. Be sure to donate to the brand and keep up to date with additional content on YouTube channels such as Neo Reality Entertainment, NRE The Wrestleverse, and NRE Pop Culture Omniversa.
Today's edition of Neo Reality Collective is brought to you by Anchor.fm, a free distribution service podcasting hosting platform that allows you to record your podcast on your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and so much more. You can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor.fm app or go to Anchor.fm to get started today. Thank you and enjoy the episode. Welcome back, everyone, to Neo Reality Collective Reviews. And we're back again talking about Avengers X-Men Eternals Judgment Day. Sort of. We're focusing on the tie-in issue, Immortal X-Men issue 5. Because we can be immortals. Because that's going to run to the ground until the series is over. So, the Eternals have struck. Yeah. And this issue is going to focus particularly on Exodus and his perspective of everything, especially since he is an Omega mutant who is known for his religious beliefs and very, very, very prophetic way of viewing things, and seeing Jesus as the son of a mutant. That is still a record I'm amazed by. Though that now leads to the question, what happens now if people found out that Jesus, the person who pretty much created their modern mythology of Christianity, is completely a lie in the Marvel Universe? Oh god. The Nazarene mutant. Yeah. Exodus being a character who dates back all the way to the Crusades period of humanity, when we all fought for a piece of land that ultimately was won by the Jewish people centuries later. Yeah, kind of when you look at it, it kind of looks like it wasn't worth it. So, yeah. We're going to be focusing on this, and this also does tie and connect with the events of Judgment Day, and even serves as pretty much a back room into the second issue of Judgment Day, which we will get into when we can. A.C. is still busted and all that, so still frustrated by that. But let's live, drink, and be married, and enjoy the relevancy of a person who believes in everything is the Messiah, including hope, because by God, he is desperate to get to know who is the new Jesus in the Marvel Universe. Though that leads to another question, does he know that every religion exists and therefore contradict each other and therefore have waged war? Who knows? We'll have to see in this issue. But I will say this, I was expecting the next big Mark Brooks artwork of Exodus. Like, oh man, that's going to be awesome. Like, his style of artist and whatnot, combined with Exodus' character, man, that's going to be a compelling cover. And they had a fill-in cover artist, and I was like, boo! I want Mark Brooks art! So I had to go ahead, so I went ahead, got the Phil Nato Quiet Council variant of Exodus, so take it that what you will. And yeah, I still like it. I just wanted Mark Brooks, because he is awesome with his colors and artwork. But yeah, let's live, drink, and be merry, and pray for the new Messiah. That is Exodus' fraternization with hope. Oh man, his friends is actually pretty awesome, and with her is actually pretty awesome, but we'll get into that. Let's dig right into the Avengers X-Men Eternal Judgment Day tie-in, Immortal X-Men issue 5. Because we can be immortals. Immortals. Alright everyone, let's dig right into Immortals X-Men issue 5 and see what goes through Exodus's head. I am in the desert. My mouth is parched, my red skin cracks, but it's doing a loveliness on my tanning. I mean, more so. I am on a quest that is going poorly. It is months after the siege of Jerusalem. No, it is not. It was then. This is a memory. Why am I having a memory of I am half a mile short of dying? I am a half a mile short of being reborn. Apocalypse waits for me. To you, apocalypse means the end of the world. You have insufficient learning. Hey, are you trying to say that religious scholars get everything wrong about the Bible and always contradict itself? How dare you? I mean, like, you're being probably accurate, but still. Apocalypse means revelation. Revelation is a way of seeing, and in that desert, I saw clearly for the first time. You'd likely say I was hallucinating, but then I thought to myself, a man of faith. Was it Moses' burning bush? Was it akin to Constantine's visions of the true cross? Something both? Something else? As a man of faith, I had no answers. And lo and behold, he sees the phoenix. But now, as a mutant of faith, I understand perfectly. So the artwork on this is Michelle Bendy. I'm pretty sure I failed at that name. Is the artist for this, continuing their work off of Immortal X-Men issue 4. So it seems like it's going to switch between Lucas Rennick and Michelle and see how that goes. Lucas actually comes back for issue 5 for not issue 5, issue 6 of Immortal X-Men, and so we'll see them again. But that's later in Judgment Day. This is right now. The more the mutants were oppressed, the more they multiplied and spread. So the humans came to dread the mutants. The Book of Exodus. Bennet du Paris translation. Infallibility means never having to say sorry. Wow, that's pompous. Anyways, the island nation of Krakoa was founded on the idea of mutant sovereign and is governed over by the collective known as the Quiet Council. Hope's recent ascension to the council following Magneto's departure has caused stir among its members. But some, including Exodus, have rejoiced. But while the Council attempts to navigate their internal conflicts, external threats are piling up. The secret of mutant resurrection is out. Moira has turned her back on Krakoa and with a new robotic body has sided with the anti-mutant organization Orchis. They're not the only ones who have mutants in their crosshairs. This issue occurs during the events of X-Men Avengers. There's Eternals Judgment Day issue 1. Part 5, Meditations on the X. This is now. Krakoa. No, closer to now. What's amiss? My visions have condensed. Our enemies are the Eternals. They will wage war against us soon. This is a surprise. We expected animosity from many sources, but not them. And who are the Eternals anyway? That Cersei Feely was an Avenger, yes? Will she be coming in a skimpy costume, Irene? Shut up! Are you sure about this? All things are in flux, but I am certain in this as I am Xavier is about to share new information from Forge. Oh, yes, new information about the abduction of Sinister. Forge was studying where he was taken and found a celestial technology signature. He compared it to recent activities of the Eternals averting a disaster in a town called Little Hollow. It's a match. It seems poor Nathaniel was kidnapped by some Eternals. Or rescued, Exodus has to point out, because his relationship with Sister is hilarious. The mutant of faith who's uber serious, having to take on someone who is not at all serious, but is secretly hiding his darker instincts. Normally my response to that, as Emma Frost finally gives her input, to that dreary ghoul disappearing would be simple. Can we throw a parade? But right now, I'm worried. There was a lot of polite politicking at the gala. but I did get a service scan from some awful CEO that lingered with me. Apocalypse is gone. Magneto is gone. All your big dogs are leaving, and it's just you in an expensive dress trying to look fierce. Well, Magneto, yes, but Apocalypse, he's currently on vacation. In Otherworld with his children. It was all I could do to stop myself from psionically imprinting him with the desire to soil himself whenever he heard my name. I am curious as to what you mean by that. Pee his pants or other things? We need people to know we remain strong. If the Eternals are moving against us, they need more than a slap on the wrist. First, we'll brief the war captains and prepare defense. Scott will have plans. He always does. Bless that nerd, Kate had to comment. And then Shaw Sebastian points out his obvious stake. Forget offense. Forget defense. Offense, damn it, offense. How can we strike them? Exodus provides some insight into this conundrum and the idea of going after them instead of defending ourselves. They have their own cities, locked off from reality, citadels caught between molecules, shadowing dimensions. There they have engines that can rebuild their bodies time and time over. They can besiege us as well. We will not find it easy to return such the favor. I'm surprised. You know the Eternals so well. I have lived for nearly 1,000 years. Didn't you spend most of that time asleep? Shortly after Apocalypse tried to recruit me to his false church, I met one. We fought in our minds, and I won. I learned much as I hurt her. Fighting in our minds? That seems relevant. It seems, The Eternals, they hold no grudge that we know of. We expected Orchis. We are not prepared for war again. Sinister is gone. This is suspicious, for dozens of reasons. We should purge him from the council 2 times slows. In this moment, I fight to understand. I see Destiny twitch in her chair. Her chair wants Apocalypse. Apocalypse is gone. And then he starts to undergo his own form of mindfuckery as he remembers his past. Apocalypse is here, but here is not now. This is the other side of the desert. I was nearly dead. I faced trials and he said I was worthy. He revealed my blessing, and my understanding of the world shattered. I would be a knight in a new crusade. It would take me a while to reassemble my faith, but he offered me purpose in that moment. I was to be an apostle, a herald for the first time, an acolyte. It had a cost. I just had to kill the man who was closer than a brother to me. The Black Knight Garrington. He had followed me across the desert as he had followed me on this crusade. We fought together so many times. Apocalypse will have me end him. It was here I first met the Eternal Circe. I thought her a witch as our minds battled. I thrashed her and rode away with my knowledge on the Eternals. Like spoils from a sacking, I was drunk with power, like a knight who had forgotten his oaths. I saw she was not a witch. She was more machine than woman, unlike human. Cold, awful, angelic. She was humbled. Garrington was defenseless. I could have killed him. I looked him in the eye and looked deep within myself. I realized this was not God asking Abraham to slay Isaac. I was still in the desert, and I was being tempted by the devil. Do not take this to mean simple hate. Hate is a small thing. I hate many. Like my complicated relationship with Sinister, we have to revitalize that. There is only one devil. That devil is a complainant. Satan is the adversary, and the adversary plays a part. Apocalypse may be vile, but he is core to my religion. Still, he is smaller than I thought him then. He did it all for his family? I sneer. A mutant of fate thinks of a bigger family, but I am aware of the irony. He challenged me to kill a human who I loved and rejected him for it. God moves in mysterious ways. Some of those ways are the movement of an ebony blade. He buried me alive, left me for dead. But Apocalypse means revelation. A revelation. The brain of the witch. So unlike a witch, so unlike anything human. Cold like an angel. It's familiar. We're under a psychic attack from the Eternals. The Unimind is upon the Quiet Council. The Eternals combined into a single cosmic psychic entity assaults us all in its alien majesty. And everyone's grunting in pain. They are trying to paralyze us, stop us from acting. They try to lose us in our memory. Smart. It's easy to simply be what you were. But if they want us paralyzed, it is for a reason. What are they trying to do? I must wake up. I slept for the best part of 1,000 years, and something more than man set me free. And we see his past with Magneto and his history with him. Then the world outside shocked me. The mass was no longer said in Latin. The paper was so plentiful that one could wipe one's behind with it. I suspected someone would be lost, but I was a mutant of faith, and I had Magneto, the man I first fought as the Messiah, to guide me. I was in a tomb, and he rolled the rock back and let me breathe. In time I realized he was but a mutant prophet, but it gave me time to learn and assemble my faith. Let me explain. Do you know what popes and anti-popes are? When there are two people who claim to be a pope, one is the anti-pope. The one not recognized by the church is the anti-pope. That's it. The church could flip tomorrow and all popes become anti-popes and vice versa. All it requires is the church to have a certain insight, a revelation. I am now the only true church, because I am a mutant, and my journey has shown the cross from another angle. I saw hidden meaning the humans did not and could not understand. An X is a rotated cross. There's a cross in the genes of every single mutant. All mutants carry the cross. Magneto was lost to me time and time over, all too flawed, not a messiah. That meant the messiah was ahead of me. Magneto is gone, and in his place sits hope. I must be there for hope. I must find the now. The now. The now. Oh, what blasphemy has occurred? And they cut to see Wolverine bleeding profusely out of his shoulder with a bunch of knives sticking out of him. Well, that's possibly the most strangest hangover you're ever going to find an explanation of. The Eternals got some kind of shadow-walking killer. They're going for the 5. Killed Egg, nearly killed Hope. What? Are you sure, Logan? Damn right I am. They know how to hurt us. They know. Unfortunate. And the exact nature of this betrayal must be pondered upon after we act. I am protecting the Council from the assault. We must defeat the Unimind. Emma, I was looking forward to taking my bad mood out on someone, and some beastly immortals stepping up to be slapped down suits fine with me. With me, Telepathic Strike Force. Hope, please copy Exodus' gift. Let's get... Of course I'm in, Emma. They come for me in my back. These little... I have a swearing messiah. Oh, God. Yeah, like... This is possibly the strangest messiah you ever met. Like, you would expect a messiah to be very spiritual, but instead Exodus has this person who has a craving for guns, has been in the apocalypse, has time traveled into the future and back, and curses a lot. And Exodus just says, I am a swearing messiah. Because, of course, Exodus and Hope are the best of friends. At least until editorial mandates come in and say you are not. Very well, Xavier's on defense, we're on offense. Sowie, telepathy, like revelation, is like seeing. To be truly powerful, I must see the conflict in terms of which I understand. I am a knight. We are in a desert, and on my left hand a diamond shield. For all her barbs, Emma is protected. She would not wish the children hurt. In my strong right hand, my faith and hope. My faith is the sword in a knight's hand, and the many-headed beasts of Eternals. So we get this cool transitional speak of panels where Exodus is in his outfit and then it suits up into his crusade armor, holding a diamond shield and a fiery sword. Awesome. And to him, when he looks at the Eternals, he sees nothing but dragons. I am a knight. A knight is well accustomed to slaying dragons. Oh, don't worry, House of the Dragon's gonna come out, and then that's gonna be very awkward, and then you'll be questioning your faith again. Psychic Engagement Command. We move together, we pierce its scales. We are in their chests, slashing and burning. I see them. They breach the surface. Yes, how can anything mortal be so quick? We have to, we got him. The Unimind Eternal Log being a bunch of ones and zeros. He's the linking part of the psychic attack. They see me. Concentrate on him. Get him. They strike me. Weak. I cannot fail. I'm so low. I have been lower. There are 200 mutants alive. The rest wiped away by the Red Witch. We were chosen. We were a chosen people and seemingly chosen to sicken and die. I was on a pilgrimage, seeking purpose. I found nothing. I had taken to torturing the body to test my faith. Mortification of the flesh. A telekinetic prayer against the elements, losing myself in a desert big enough to torture one whom God had raised so high. I hoped pain would bring me clarity. It did. And the sun explodes into him. I was in the desert, and I was being tempted by the mortal sin. I would have to relax just for a second. That's all it would take. Fire would consume me. But then I remembered the fire in the desert. Hope. A child had been born, the first since the witch swept us all away. The child would return. The Phoenix child would save us all. I was right. My Messiah returned and my people kindled. I will never kneel as long as she stands. So what happens if she dies and then later they revive her? Does that still count? Okay. Get up, lazy. We kick their asses so hard they'll be wiping their behinds anytime they brush their teeth. Oh, Hope, Emma says. Sometimes you really can tell you've spat crucial years of schooling wandering a radioactive wasteland drinking reclaimed urine. Gross. But yeah, that's space. In our timeline. The Unimind was routed. We cut it down. Yes. Retreating. Regrouping. Shouldn't be that easy. They've had second thoughts. Was that pun? Oh, it was. I'm sorry. It was an accident. No time for levity. Oh god, the MCU would find this a cardinal sin! We have a moment to consider our next steps. What now? First thing, get that lovely teleconnected carpenter in here and get that furnishing repaired. One does not need my guests to know this, but the Eternals will be back. And then Hope clocks her gun and says, we'll be ready for them. Only for 2 eternal hexes to arrive in the form of beasts. Oh, goddammit, we're screwed. An Eternal makes a speech to humanity. It says nothing I have heard before. It merely tells me who I have to fight. The Hex? That's the witchy ring of Circe. I remember when I first walked in New York, amazed at these glass lances piercing the sky. It made Apocalypse's tower look like a shack. I never thought anything could be so big. Now 6 beings of such scale attack our sacred land. Okay, scratch that. Not ready for them. We are. Retire to safety and return to the fallen warriors to the field. Be an inspiration. Guard the flame of mutant life. Be yourself. It is more than sufficient. Oh, stop it. And you? They're dragons, Hope. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm the Pope of a new church, like Peter was long ago. Peter was the rock upon which the Nazarene mutant built his church. Yes, I am that rock. But I am also the rock in the hand of Cain. And so our comic ends with Exodus launching a psionic punch into the Hex creature. Oh god, that's actually pretty badass. So yeah, we get this clear insight into the religious philosophy and beliefs within Exodus and his degrading faith and then restoration of faith, his life, death, rebirth, and resurrection and reconstruction. Especially after what happened with the whole, Scarlet Witch thing. Like, now that I think about it, what would it have been like if Exodus fought the Scarlet Witch? Has that actually happened before? I'm like, it's Marvel Comics and it's been around for decades, so maybe? But yeah, all hell is broken loose and I have no idea how we're gonna get out of this. Mostly fighting dragons. I'm certain it's not gonna lead to any problems after this. And Tony Stark is not someone who ends the world every single Tuesday. We're our feet. But yeah, that was Immortal X-Men number 5. Shorter issue than the others, but this is overall a good story, and I do love the artwork on it. And I really, really love this insight into the character, and we get to explore more about who he is, what his beliefs are. And honestly, Exodus isn't really one of a villain, even though he has been portrayed like that for decades in Marvel Comics. He's just more like this believer who's trying to find something in his life, a new purpose of life regarding his faith. And right now, Hope Summers is that Messiah faith he has. So when the day comes that Marvel editorial decides to make X as a bad guy again, it's going to ruin any interesting aspects he had with him beyond his religious philosophy of Christianity. In fact, I would kind of like it if he was hanging out with Nightcrawler more. I would love to see how their interactions would be besides their time on the Quiet Council. Heck, I was surprised he hadn't really shown up much in the Way of X story, even though that would have been honestly a good idea to have him show up, since, well, he's a mutant of faith, he's a Christian, so is Nightcrawler, and he's the main character. I don't know why they didn't do that. I'll never understand Marvel sometimes. But that's the way things go, and overall this issue is good. The coloring is great. The artwork, while not Lucas, is still serviceable for what it is, and still has some of that Lucas-like energy to it. Especially with the coloring. It looks more warmer. Oh, and also Kieron Gillen's writing is great. Really delving deep into the character's thoughts process and how they operate. Though I would have loved it more to see how they fought the Unimind instead of it being a data page by Tom Muller. Just felt confused by that. But yeah, overall this issue was pretty good for what it was. Solidly tie into the next issue of the main event. We'll be back with that later down the road, but right now I'm trying to catch up on Dark Crisis and everything else. So this was Neo Reality Collective Pop Culture News and Reviews Talk, hosted by Eric Brown. Feel free to check out my other content, stay tuned for more. I'll see y'all again next time, everyone, and peace out. Enjoy this last ad break and outro. Take care.
Be sure to donate to the brand and keep up to date with additional content on YouTube channels such as Neo Reality Entertainment, NRE The Wrestleverse, and NRE Pop Culture Omniversa.